What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, we're taking a look at the results from another dungeon that I've done 100 times. And in today's dungeon, we're looking at the Warlords of Draenor dungeon, SKYREACH. So before we dive into the specifics, massive thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide. The 0 to 10 million gold guide features all the best tactics and methods that I personally use in order to achieve hundreds of millions of gold. Not only that, but also this gold guide is digital, meaning that whenever there's a new patch or even a brand new expansion to the game, I update the exact same gold guide completely for free, and I will send that directly to your email. So you only got to pick it up once and you'll have a lifetime of free updates. And if you think that sounds interesting and you want to read more about it or grab it, you can do so by clicking the link down below in the description, and by applying the discount code STUDENT, you also get it for 50% off. If you already have the gold guide, definitely worth checking out the VIP Discord. Once you join in, you will be amongst a lot of like-minded people that all discuss and help each other out in terms of gold making. You also get to view all my YouTube videos before they go public on YouTube, and you get access to exclusive gold tips, investments, spreadsheets, and much, much more. But that will also be linked down below. So, as I said, SKYREACH is located in the Warlords of Draenor, specifically in the Spires of Arak down here. And you should do the dungeon as usual on normal mode, because if you do it on heroic, once you kill a boss, you will be locked out of the dungeon and you cannot run it 10 times an hour. Now, this is a very fast dungeon to complete. Doing 10 runs, specifically if you do it on a speed set tune, it's going to take you like 25 minutes. Now, in terms of items that you want to get, because I don't usually do SKYREACH, normally I'm going to go up to Gorgron and do Iron Docks when I do WAD dungeons, but I've done so much Iron Docks that I needed a change of scenery. But you're after, the big ticket items, such as the Blackrock Bulwark, very famous shield, easy to sell considering its very high value, and a couple of other epic items like the Sheila's belt and so on. But you also can obtain some decent green items. A lot of the WOD items is going to have a massive fake value though. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that once we've completed this run, so you guys can see exactly how it is. And normally when I run SKYREACH, it's a dungeon where you cannot really do anything wrong. It's impossible to take a wrong turn or anything like that. It's a very straightforward dungeon with no alternative routes to do. But normally when I run it, I'm going to always loot everything that drops from the mobs. I'm not going to do like this, take a look and see what drops before I move on. It's just because this is run number 100, exactly run number 100. My bags are already full. Well, not full, but they're full with the items, so I can't be arsed to vendor items, etc. after. So I'm just checking to see if there's going to be any actual epics as I'm doing this, or green items that I recall by just looking at their names, if it's any item that I want to keep. But it's a dungeon where it's quite easy to get excited, because if you run it with Looterpracer on, it's gonna go off constantly because there's so many items with fake value. Now, it's very normal to do 10 runs of SKYREACH, and once you're done, you have items with a market value of hundreds of thousands of gold, $500,000 to $1 million gold. Is even above $1 million gold is very, very normal. That obviously doesn't mean that you've made $1 million gold, by no means. But even if you just make a small percentage of that, you're in some seriously good gold. Now, the best green items that you can get would be the weapons. They tend to sell the fastest, but there is some cases of which you've probably seen in some of my mailbox cleanouts, where I'm selling a lot of WAD armor items as well. They just are way tougher to sell, and they usually have a couple of shared appearances too. Now, that was the last boss, and then you can jump down, port out, reset the dungeon, and go again. Very simple stuff, very fast dungeon to run through. And then now we're going to take a look and see exactly how much gold I made running in my 100 runs of SKYREACH. Epics, green items, everything. Now, before we take a look at the epics and the green items, it is worth mentioning that whenever you do anything in WoD, it's good to have the trading post level 2 in your garrison, because that will allow you to get these auction house parts that you can complete into a module, and you can sell those for just some additional gold. So, like, including these on top of making like 2.5 to 3.5k raw gold a run, it definitely adds up if you're never lucky and you can't get any other loot of interest. But first, we're going to take a look at the epics, which is what everyone is interested in. I got myself the disc of the third moon, which is currently sitting at a shitty price, but it is not a unique appearance shield. It shares the appearance with the Vurix Indomitable Bulwark, which is an item that drops inside this dungeon as a blue BOP item, I believe. And then I got a ring, like... Nothing more needs to be said about this ring. Market value of almost 2 million gold. That's one of the reasons why it looks like you're making so much gold with Loot Appraiser. I also got the Cloud Colors linked belt. Ton of shared appearances. Still has a region sales average of 15,000 gold for some weird reason. Probably just someone selling it to snipers. And then I got myself this one, the Torius Preservance, which it's a shame right now that it's only sitting at, on my realm, 15,000 gold, because I've actually sold these for a decent amount of gold. Outside of that, it's just a big selection of items, and you have some really good ones, like this Bloodmane gun. I've sold those a ton of times because that's a unique item. There's no other item in the game that looks like this one. And you do have a couple of weapons like that, and the weapons and the offhand, they tend to sell well. Shadow Sage Spellblade, again, another unique item. A bunch of armor items as well, but it's like, you look at these shoulders, they're 40,000 gold market value, 14 currently on my realm, but they only sell on average in the region for 5.2k. So when we look at the total amount of gold right now, when we look at the market value, the region market value, the average price across every single realm in the EU, it's going to tell me that I am sitting on 8.8 million gold. Now, if I take this on minimum buyout, which would be the actual prices on my realm at this like very moment, it would go down to 5.5 million gold. But obviously, still absolutely ridiculous, because the ring alone is 2.2 million gold. But even if you take away that, you're going to be left with 3.3 million gold. Very, very unrealistic, because you have so many of these items, like the gun that I showed you. It's not realistic to sell this for 400,000 gold. It really, really isn't. So it's very hard to say, like, with a dungeon like this, like how much gold you'll make. Like, if you do 100 runs of RFD and you only leave the items that you save the items you're going to post on the auction house, like, and that might be 400,000 gold, you know, that's pretty accurate. Like, you have experience selling those items that they sell frequently, like, that's going to be relatively accurate. There's not that much fake value in a dungeon like that, or in classic dungeons in general, but WoD has some insane fake value. Doesn't mean that you can't get some insane sales on these items, because there's way less people farming WoD transmog. But all the collectors, they need the WoD transmog items just as much as they need the classic or TBC or Wrath of Lich King transmog. So definitely an untapped market. But that was the result of my loot from 100 SKYREACH runs. If you have any dungeon suggestions on what I should do 100 runs of next, leave them down below in the comment section. And don't forget to check out the 0 to 10 million gold guide alongside with the VIP Discord. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye bye.